Hey, 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 let's talk true crime today. I feel like in most all true crime cases, it all has one common denominator: toxic relationships. Most all do. So I wanted to just play a little short video today to know why toxic relationships are so addictive. Kind of like, if you're a drug addict, it's like a drug you're addicted to. So that maybe we can know what signs to look for and run as fast as you can. And I know I've made videos on that documentary that dropped, The Crash. I've also seen videos where people have asked, why did Dominique Rousseau stay in the relationship? Well, unless you've ever been in a toxic relationship, you don't or won't understand. Most all people have, but that small amount of people that have not, God bless y'all. Um, I was in one for 20 years. It took 20 years of my life away. The other 20 years, I was just a kid growing up. But anyway, not enough about me. So let's take a moment to remember Dominic Russo and Davion Flanagan from that new Netflix movie that just dropped, The Crash. I don't want to do too much talking about Mackenzie Shirilla and her, in my opinion, her parents aren't, they're not really knocking on all four or five cylinders. They don't even, I don't even know if they got a cylinder running in that brain of theirs. All right, let's go.
You've probably heard the term toxic relationships so many times on social media.
Oh, I am so, so sorry. The video that I'm watching and that we're going to react to today, just a real short video, it is by Tracy Wolf, Dr. Tracy Wolf. Toxic love feels good, question mark. Here's why your brain is lying. This is the movie, I'm sorry, YouTube video that we're going to watch, and I'm going to link it in the description below.
Media that it's lost its meaning. Everyone is talking about red flags, including me, love bombing, and narcissists. But what if I told you that there's actually brain chemistry behind why you keep choosing the wrong person? And what if the reason that you can't seem to leave that chaotic relationship or stop being attracted to people who are bad for you isn't about weakness or poor judgment, but how your brain is wired? I'm Dr. Tracy Marks, a psychiatrist, and I make mental health education videos.
Okay, so I haven't watched this video before, and I don't want to spend too much time on it because, this is a true crime channel. But I truly, truly do believe that there's one common denominator in almost all true crime cases, and that's toxic love. Whether it's in a relationship, an intimate relationship, or whether it was with your parents, or whether you were adopted and it was with them, at some point, whomever it is that is committing the crime, the villain, it always seems to go back to one thing: toxic love. And you can be in that growing up, not getting enough nurture, nature versus nurture. So let's look at some signs over here of what to look for. And I'm probably going to stop this video a few times to go through the research that I found. And again, I don't want to keep you guys too long on this, but I do believe that this is definitely the common denominator. Let me know in the comments below.
Videos to help you strengthen your mind, fortify your brain, and build resilience. Today, we're going to understand the dopamine mechanism that makes unavailable or harmful partners so compelling. And this isn't relationship advice, this is neuroscience. And understanding it might be the first step toward breaking the pattern that you've been stuck in for years. Many people think of dopamine as the happiness chemical or pleasure chemical. You've probably heard the saying, oh, that gave me a dopamine hit, like it's the feeling of enjoying something. But that's actually not quite right. Dopamine is about anticipation, motivation, and reward seeking. It's not the endpoint satisfaction of getting what you want.
I also find this very interesting because I'm always trying to figure out why people are the way they are, why do they do the stuff that they do, and the chemistry of the brain. And so, what I've discovered is just like in that new documentary that just dropped, The Crash, it had one common denominator in it: toxic love. Her family, her home life looked very toxic. She, not that I was in her family, just my opinion only. Nature versus nurture. She didn't have no boundaries. She didn't have no parent, like parenting wasn't really there. Her mom said in that documentary, well, she didn't need any boundaries. She didn't need any discipline. The only thing that she's guilty of is her mouth. Well, that right there is telling me that maybe her mama was, not being nurtured well enough whenever she was growing up in her home as well. So it all stems back to what goes on in your home behind closed doors. So there's definitely a lot of shit that Mackenzie's missing. And that toxic relationship was addictive. It was addictive for both of them because, again, toxic relationships, intimate ones, they're super addictive. I've been out of my 20-year toxic relationship for 10 years. So I do believe I have a lot of knowledge of it, and I always tried to get out, but I always got roped back in. Luckily, it didn't turn out like most of these true crime cases do, but being single for the last 10 years, I can see it. So people are going to be like, well, why didn't Dominique get out of it? Well, here's your answer. Unless you've ever been in a relationship like that, you won't understand it. And you never think it's going to turn the way it turns.
It's the drive to pursue what you want. And that difference matters hugely for understanding toxic attraction. Here's how it works: dopamine spikes highest when a reward is uncertain but possible. Once you actually get the reward, dopamine drops. And this is why the will they text back creates more dopamine than they always text back. Your brain is wired to pay attention to unpredictability because evolutionarily, unpredictable rewards required more effort from you. Think of it like a slot machine. Dopamine isn't the feeling of winning at the slot machine, it's what makes you pull the lever over and over again, hoping to win. It thrives on unpredictability. And that's exactly what your brain is doing in a toxic relationship. It's gambling. Every time you check your phone, wonder if they'll show up or which version of them that you're going to see today, your brain is pulling that lever. So here's the toxic relationship connection: unavailable or inconsistent partners create maximum uncertainty. Your brain treats this like a slot machine with intermittent reinforcement, hot cold behaviors.
This right here is an awesome video. Again, I'm going to link it in the description below. So if you guys are interested in watching it on your own and getting some more facts on it, I believe we need to raise more awareness of toxic love, whether it's intimate or from, growing up with mom and dad or grandma, grandpa, whomever, and why the body is lying to you. So, again, I'm going to link that in the description below. But let's go with what I have found out. She's definitely more detailed than me, but let's just go with this. Toxic relationships can feel intensively addictive because they're often triggered by the same reward and withdrawal patterns seen in other addictions, a lot of which she just said. The relationship may feel emotionally high at times, then painfully low, and the brain starts chasing the next moment of relief, affection, or validation. Again, a lot of what she just said. Then there's that intermediate reinforcement. This is a big one. Okay. If someone is loving, attentive, apologetic, or affectionate sometimes, but then sometimes they're cold and critical and distant or hurtful, other times your brain becomes hyper focused on getting the good version of them back. I was so guilty of that. So guilty of that. So it just, it creates a cycle: tension or conflict, emotional pain, reconciliation or affection, temporary relief, endorphins, repeat. The unpredictability strengthens attach more than steadily affection often does. Then there's trauma bonding. Okay. There's trauma bonding with that. Then there's also the dopamine and stress chemical going off. There's the toxic dynamics that can create emotional extremes, highs, lows, consistent uncertainty. The unpredictability increases your dopamines, anticipate rewards, and stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline. Over time, calm and healthy relationships may even feel boring simply because your nervous system becomes used to the chaos. So let's go ahead and go with this. If you're in a healthy relationship, they're going to love you for who you are, and it's going to be a healthy balance. It's going to be a simple, it's going to be stress free, most of the time and stuff like that. So if it's feeling boring, it's most likely a good relationship, and don't run. Okay. Familiar patterns. Sometimes people are drawn to the dynamic that feels emotionally familiar, probably because, some shit happened in your home as you were growing up. Inconsistently of affection, emotional unavailability, needing to earn love, caretaker, or fixing someone. The brain often makes familiarity for safety, even when it hurts. And then there's the hope of potential. Many toxic relationships are not bad all the time. Usually they have the moments of connection, chemistry, vulnerability, shared dreams. People stay attached. They're attached because they are too scared of what is on the other side of the door. They've spent the time, invested I don't know how many ever, I don't know. I invested 20 years of my time, and it was all for nothing. Except there's one thing I don't regret from that, and that is the daughter that we had together. Um, but then there's the self worth. You get tired of the relationship over time. Some toxic relationships slowly erode confidence. The relationship starts to feel a source of validation, intensity, emotional stability, and even cause pain. So, and then why leave? Why do you want to leave? If you leave, it's going to be physically painful, emotionally painful, mentally painful. People are so used to keeping that consistency going and that routine going that they're too scared to break the cycle because they don't want to be alone. They're scared to be alone. So, again, I'm not a doctor or anything. I'm just saying that there are so many different reasons why people stay in toxic relationships. But I feel like if we can possibly try to bring some more awareness to this, that maybe people will get the hell out of them and start running. And then maybe, I don't know, fingers crossed, maybe some crime would go down. It's very, very possible. Very possible.
And predictability, mixed signals, all of this creates a dopamine jackpot. Meanwhile, healthy, stable relationships provide predictable rewards, which means lower dopamine spikes and boredom for some people, but those stable relationships trigger something else, oxytocin and serotonin. And these are the chemicals that build long term bonding, trust, and contentment. The problem is your brain is confusing high dopamine with right person. It's mistaking the intensity or craving for depth of connection. But it gets more complicated because this isn't just about one chemical. It's about how your brain learns patterns. Your brain is consistently trying to predict what will happen next so it can respond in the best way possible. Dopamine helps your brain update these predictions. When things turn out better than expected, dopamine rises and your brain encourages you to remember what led to that result. When things are worse than expected, dopamine drops, signaling it's time to be cautious or change course. If outcomes are unpredictable, dopamine.
This is such a good video, and I really do feel like most all of the true crime cases that we cover have that one common denominator. Let me know in the comments below what you think. Again, this is by Dr. Tracy Marks. Toxic love feels good, question mark. Here's why your brain is lying to you. I highly recommend you go over to her channel, like, subscribe, and watch this video. I'm going to finish watching it as well, but I'm not going to keep you guys much longer. I appreciate you spending your Sunday with me. I hope that you have a great Memorial Day, wonderful week. And until next time, please remember to like, subscribe, and share to my channel. Let's talk true crime today.